Hey everybody, Zunzun here, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. As I'm sure you've seen by your title, this isn't going to be one of my regular just playthrough videos. I'm just going to be playing a little bit of Dying Light in the background just to keep you guys entertained, and maybe for those of you who really don't want to listen to whatever politics or whatever I'm going to be talking about. Now, first things first, today's video is going to be part of a new series, and it's going to be titled Why We Hate ... whoever. Today I'm going to be doing Trump. I figure there's a lot of people out there who hate him. He's obviously running for presidential candidate for the Republican side. A lot of people know that, and that's one of the only things people do know about him, but a lot of people do know that they hate him. Although, from what I've seen, not very many people know why. A lot of people say they hate him because he's Trump, reasons like that. But that doesn't get by. There are Trump supporters out there. As hard as it is for people to believe, there are Trump supporters out there. And I'm not going to be talking about my own personal... I'm not going to help that guy. I'm not going to be talking about my own personal political views today, because that's not what this is about. This is about informing you guys why. If you dislike Trump, because if you do like Trump, all power to you. I mean, this is America, the land of the free. But there are a lot of people who hate him, and when they're asked why, they can't actually come up with a reason. And that's sad. That's not what our politics are about. But a lot of people don't actually like to sit down and do the research and think about what it is that not think. I'm not trying to say people are stupid or that they can't think for themselves or anything. But they don't want to take the time because it feels like a waste of time to a lot of people, and I understand that. I mean, I'm personally very much into politics and into realizing what's going on in the political world, because I'm not annoyed by it. I actually find it very interesting. I've actually thought about careers in politics. So basically, I'm just going to be trying to inform whoever decides to watch the video a little bit about why people hate this man and why they might hate this man. So first thing we're going to start with is the easy one. A lot of people hate Trump because of his hair. I'm talking about Donald Trump, by the way. I don't know why anyone would be confused about that, but just in case you were. First thing we're going to talk about is his hair. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about his hair. A lot of people think it's some sort of toupee or it's some sort of fake hair. It actually isn't. There's actually a couple of research or a couple of papers written by people who actually do cosmetics. They actually work with hair and they work with stuff like that. And they've kind of, some of them have actually written papers about it and stuff, because it is kind of a phenomenon. Like, if you look at this man, you don't see hair like his. As far as they can tell, it is natural. The hair is born of the man, which, whether that's, a good thing or a bad thing, is yet to be seen. Wow, these zombies, are just, I'm delicious, apparently. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is yet to be seen. That's not, something for people to judge. I mean, people look different. But it is possibly plugs, which is essentially when you get real hair installed into your head, which is kind of weird to think about, but he is a very rich man, or, he should be a rich man, but the government may argue otherwise. It is possibly plugs, and it does look very bad. And there was actually a book written. It's an unofficial book, not written by Trump or anyone who supports Trump or anything. But it basically states, although this is not truthful, I want you guys to know this is not necessarily fact. And geez, I am burpy right now. Sorry, guys, I had pizza for dinner. It basically states that his wife told him, his first wife, because the man has had three. His first wife told him, okay, so there's this person I go to, and he does my hair, and, he'll probably be able to do your hair. So Trump goes to him, he gets the hair done the way it is. It just looks awful, and he actually hates it. And this woman actually went to court with Trump because he assaulted her physically. He physically assaulted his wife. And this book basically theorizes that the reason that happened was because this woman gave this advice to Trump, and he was like, okay, I'm going to go do it, and he came back and it looked awful, so he had physically attacked his wife in anger because of that. I don't know how truthful that is. The book is, like I said, not official. It's been decredited in a lot of places, stuff like that. But I mean, that is, his hair does look awful. Whether you're a supporter or not, you kind of have to admit it's just not done well. It's just bad. When I was looking at it the other day, a lot of people make jokes about this, but it's just ridiculous that pubic hair is thicker than this man's head hair. I mean, I don't get very much facial hair, but my facial hair is probably thicker than this man's head hair. It's ridiculous. It doesn't look good, and honestly, if he shaved it, it would probably look worse. So he's probably going to keep it the way it is. What I imagine is that the hair is like the pimple from Family Guy. It's just like this evil force. Like Donald Trump actually has no control over his own life. The hair controls him, and I mean that's the only reason it could look so bad, as if it was evil. Am I right? Anyway, another reason a lot of people hate him is because he's racist. Now, whether or not you actually believe he's racist or he's doing what he does for other reasons or whatever, that's not what I'm here to judge. But one thing that is true about him is he sees no problem with hating other groups of people. He sees no problem with disapproving of other groups of people coming into the country. I mean, just his idea, his theories about building the wall, like a physical wall around the United States, which if anyone has ever seen Machete Kills, that never really works out. But basically, he wants to build that physical wall, and people think it's because he hates Mexicans. And whether or not that's true, the fact is he doesn't want Mexicans coming into the country. So a lot of people see him for hate for that reason. He also actually owns a hotel, I believe, in India. And the man paid a large sum of money to have basically Donald Trump's name on the company. It's part of the Trump Incorporated, Trump Business, whatever you want to call it. I think it's Trump Enterprises. But man, I cannot get up there. The man spent a large sum of money to get the name on there because it's a recognizable name. What the fuck is happening? Oh my god. Anyway, the man spent a large sum of money to get his name, to get Donald Trump's name on there because it is a recognizable brand. There are a lot of hotels in New York and a lot of other real estate that has Trump's name on it. So a lot of people, wanted his name on their equipment. Just like, if you were going to have a hotel, you'd want the Hilton put on it. If it was a nice enough hotel and Hilton said they put their name on it, you'd want that because that is a recognizable brand of hotels. This man basically decided against it. Like in 2015, when Donald Trump basically just said, fuck Muslims, I don't want anything to do with that in this country. I think they should be banned from entering the United States, whether or not they're terrorists or whatever. This man decided that, okay, I don't want Donald Trump's name on my brand anymore because he lives in a place where he's very close to Muslim societies, and there are probably a lot of Muslims in India. I didn't really do research on that part, but I'm sure there are. So he's like, okay, well, if he's going to make that kind of claim in the United States, I don't want anything to do with that. But because he already had the name on it, it was actually illegal for him to change it. So this guy's basically screwed. In 1973, Donald Trump was actually banned, or was actually sued by the what are they called? The Fair Housing Act allowed them to sue him because they believed he was trying to prevent minorities from living in his middle-class housing developments that he had essentially created. All minorities. And he claims that that's not what it was. He claims that he was trying to basically prevent welfare people from living in his house because, welfare is an inconsistent form of military payment. These people don't actually work for that money, blah, 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 all those other reasons to hate welfare, whatever reasons he had. And but a lot of people believed it was just racism. He was just trying to keep minorities out, which is understandable. He actually attempted to countersue the people who were doing the basically Housing Agreement Act. He attempted to countersue, saying that they were basically just trying to force him to accept welfare people. And it was a very hasty countersue that did not, believe it or not, did not work out for him. He ended up actually settling out of court, and we all know what settles out of court mean. Usually means you're not going to win. And you could say that's because it's the government or that's because it's fucking true. But it usually means you're not going to win. He settled out of court, supposedly after he found that the agreement doesn't force welfare. So he was okay with settling out of court because he found that basically that wasn't something that they were forcing of him, which a lot of people believe that was never something they were forcing of him. He's just, racist. All right, next thing we're going to talk about is his bankruptcies. So through the years 1991 to 2014, Donald Trump and his company went bankrupt 5 times. 5 times. 1991 to 2014. That's 23 years he went bankrupt 5 times. That's going bankrupt almost, every 4 years. That man went bankrupt. That is ridiculous. Bankruptcy basically means you have too much loans, you can't do anything. You have to basically give everything you own to a company, and then they kind of consolidate the payments. So say you're paying, $100,000 in all these different loans and back payments and whatever. Basically what they do is they pay all that off. but then they give you a lump amount of money, say $100,000, or no, it'd be like, say, okay, so say you owe $1 million and you're trying to pay it back on bankruptcy. They'd take the money, they'd pay off the $1 million from all the different sources, and they'd only make you pay, $1,000 a month. So you'll basically be paying for, I don't even think you could pay that off in a lifetime, but you'll basically be paying for the rest of your life, but you won't be bankrupt. Like, the money will not affect your life directly. Sorry guys, have to fix my headset here. It's been a while since I've made a video, so it's kind of wonky. But yeah, so he's been bankrupt 5 times. So basically what that means is he is declared that he cannot pay his loans, he cannot pay his debts, he cannot pay any of that 5 times. He's had the banks come, they've basically knocked all that, basically said, okay, you don't have to, we'll pay it off for you, you're just going to have to pay smaller loans. And then he kept running his business over and over and over again. And that is kind of unacceptable for someone who is going to be dealing with not millions of dollars, but quadrillions of dollars. I mean, he is going to not necessarily be in charge of, but be able to oversee how the entire United States funding is paid. And that's ridiculous. How can you allow someone who has failed with money 5 times, and we're talking large sums of money. It's not like a personal home owner who just got over their head. He's done this 5 times with millions and millions of dollars, huge $1 million companies. And he may become president. That is just ridiculous. That is another reason why a lot of people hate him, because that is just, I know I'm not really doing anything on the game, guys. I'm just kind of running around. I probably should have actually, you know what, I'll go ahead and go to this quest. But yeah, that is why a lot of people that is another good reason why a lot of people don't want him to be president, why a lot of people do not support him. And another reason why, if you ever come across a Trump supporter, you can easily be like, does this man deserve to be able to oversee the banks? Another thing that is kind of messed up about the whole bankruptcy thing is he claims that it's a legitimate strategy used by business owners, that all the great business owners and entrepreneurs use the strategy of basically bankrupting themselves, basically saying, I owe my life to everything that is the bank, or everything that I am belongs to the bank. He claims that's a good business strategy, and that's not good. Okay, now we're going to talk about why Republicans hate him. And this isn't just, run-of-the-mill, everyday people who live next door to you Republicans. I'm talking about why the parties hate him, why the Republican Party does or should hate him. The first reason is he's only claimed to be one since 2009. And even in 2009 through 2011, he wasn't really a Republican. He was an independent who took the Republican side on certain issues that would allow him, like with the racism, on certain issues that would allow him, because a lot of people claim Republicans are racist, that would allow him to basically get support from that group. So really, he's only been a Republican, quote unquote, since 2012, which, if you guys look at the entire course of his life, I believe the man is like 68, 69, something along that lines, which means over the entire course of his life, only the last 8 years he's claimed to be a Republican. And my opinion is he sees it as advantageous. If he can come up with this big reason why Republicans should vote for him, ergo, keeping illegals out, keeping, those groups of people out of this country, he can easily get the votes he needs. And if he gets the votes he needs, then he wins. He becomes president, and he has control over the entire United States economy, which is ridiculous. So just say whatever you're going to say, oh, I hate, this group, and I'm doing awful. I hate this group, and, whatever, this group fucking sucks. Everyone who thinks that group fucking sucks is like, yeah, that group does suck. You're right, Trump. So they all start supporting him. Now he has the support of all these people. Whether or not he actually believes what he's saying, or whether or not he's actually going to do what he says about it, he has the support of all these people now. So now he's like, okay, well, I have the support of all these people. How about I just, get all the votes from them, get everything I need. I become the leader of this country, and then, boom, I don't have to do anything. That's the problem with being president, is that you can go up and you can say anything. If you're a liberal candidate, you can say, all the poor will have, will be paid at least, let's say, $50,000 a year. all the poor will have at least $50,000 a year, even if they cannot support themselves. If they're handicapped, blah, blah, whatever, they will get at least $50,000 a year. You can say that, but that doesn't mean that's going to happen. So Donald Trump could essentially be doing the exact same thing. But the thing is, he sees Republicans as having this hate, this just gruesome hate for a group of people, the Mexicans, the Mexican border, Mexican workforce, whatever. And he sees it as advantageous. If I support, hating these people will vote for me. I'll get the votes I'll need. I'll win presidency. It's easy. And it's disgusting. I also believe that for all you Republicans out there who maybe are thinking Donald Trump might be a good thing, I think he's manipulating you. And I think he's manipulating all Republicans. And again, I'm not going to say what my personal views are politically, but I do believe he is manipulating all Republicans. And it's sad that you're letting yourselves become manipulated. He looked at the two parties and he thought, okay, I've been a Democrat my whole life. I know how they think. I feel like I can manipulate the Republicans. That'll be easy. I can get the presidency I want. Blah, blah, blah. And people are just allowing this. And just think about that when you're thinking about who you're going to vote for. This guy is manipulating you. There are a bunch of other candidates who actually follow a code of ethics, and this man is not one of them. And it's pretty sad. Another reason why Republicans should hate him is he only supports himself. He stated, I believe, in the first debate, essentially, if he was not the one who won the Republican vote, he would not support the other Republicans over the Democrats. And in a two-party system, essentially, you're supposed to support the other people of your party because they have closer political views to the situation than you do. But he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care about the specific views of any one party. Jeez, I'm really sorry, guys. All he cares about is getting the votes. So he would just do anything. So in the first debate, when he was asked that question, he said no. One of the only candidates, in fact, the only candidate in the Republican lineup, I'm pretty sure, to say no to that question, which essentially just means he is so selfish that. Is that one of those exploding guys? Yeah, it is, and the grappling hook went through him. It didn't just blow him up. Damn it. Damn this game. Anyway, he only cares about himself. So that's just another reason to think he's not really a Republican. He's not going to do anything that a Republican would want, anything that conservative would want, anything that a Democrat would want. He's going to do what he wants. He's going to manipulate everyone to make sure he gets what he wants, and it's going to be awful. So now we're going to talk about reasons why Democrats hate him or should hate him. He was a Democrat for most of his life. He stated multiple times that he believes, the Republican view on immigration was poor and all that other stuff. Supposedly he was a Democrat from the year 2000 to the year 2009, although it is stated that George Bush, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, George Bush can fucking blow a load in my face, I don't care, but a lot of people, basically George Bush stated he is Democratic, and George Bush did have a few meetings with the man, because obviously the man is, famous, he's rich, it's just like the I don't know why I'm having so much trouble remembering their name. The Hilton household. The man is rich. He's going to meet the president. The president's going to have time to talk with him. And say what you want about George Bush, he is an educated person. He may make mistakes. He may say things that are stupid. But when push comes to shove, he is educated. So I honestly believe that if this man is willing to stand there, and I know another thing a lot of you can be saying is, well, he's a candidate against his brother Jeb Bush, so yeah, blah blah blah. But Jeb Bush isn't going to win, and George Bush knows that. And I'm pretty sure he said this before Jeb Bush was going to run for president. Where the hell am I going? Anyway, so yeah, this man has been a Democrat for most of his life. But the thing is, the Democrats would not allow a huge business-owning person like that to run for candidacy. Like, that's kind of just against what they're about, The guy goes for tax breaks. He does all the stuff that Democrats are basically against. So there's just another reason why it proves that he never had any plan of being part of the Republican Party. He just knew he couldn't get the votes he needed being a Democrat. So he figured, okay, I'm going to manipulate these Republicans into voting for me. It'll be so easy. He's just playing games with the Republicans, and it's ridiculous. And another reason why Democrats hate him is he's probably going to win. with the Democratic holdup in the shambles that it is, and with the way Donald Trump is picking up all the support he is for God knows what reason, the fact is he's probably going to win presidency against either Clinton or who's that other guy who's really popular with the Democrats right now? I can't remember his name. But against either of those people, he's probably going to win presidency. It's sad, but it's true. What the hell are they doing over here?
You're Volkendahl, and you are Mr. Crane.
Anyway, and it's a problem. So they have reason to hate him, because basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to build up this army to face this man. And the problem is, so is every Republican candidate. Every Republican candidate is trying to build up an army to face this man, but he cannot be faced. He has such a public eye, and so few people actually pay attention that there is good chance he's going to take office within the next year. And that has the Democrats fearful, because they're basically being told, the Republicans are like, this man joined our party, we can't stop him. And it's sad, because this is basically a thing that Republicans and Democrats are going to have to stand together. And this is one of the reasons why the two-party system is so broken. Because if you have a two-party system, then when a horrible candidate like this comes up, there's no stopping it. You can't have everyone join forces to be against this person, because all the Democrats are still going to hate all the Republicans or make fun of all the Republicans and, talk against all the Republicans, and all the Republicans are going to do the exact same to the Democrats. And that's a huge problem when it comes to facing someone like Donald Trump, who has as much power as he does. Is that the entire quest? Was I just... I guess so. That's funny. Okay, this is about to explode. Anyway, it's sad, and it's a problem. It really is, because this time it was Trump, and say what you want about him, he could end up to be a not horrible president, but a lot of people are saying he's going to be the next Hitler, and that would be a problem, obviously. But it could be worse next time. It could literally be Hitler next time. And with this kind of support that a basically not two-faced, but like two-system government brings, it's completely problematic, and it's never gonna, no side is ever going to win. Now I'm going to do a little bit of talking about my own personal opinions on the subject. Again, I'm not going to try to look like I'm from either side, because that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to pick a side. I'm not here to whatever. But my fear is that America is doomed. And it's not necessarily going to be Donald Trump that kills America, but the fact that someone like him can become president is going to be a major issue. It's sad to see that anyone who wants, any awful person, any person who beat their wife, who has done other horrible things, who's gone bankrupt, can become president and have a majority support from one party or the other. And it kind of just shows that if you have the face for it and if you have the charisma, you can do anything you want. There's no stopping someone. And it's really scary if you think about it, because like I said, this time it's Trump, and if he doesn't completely screw it over, next time it's going to be someone else. It's going to be the next, ultra conservative who, basically walls off the entire United States and says no one's allowed to come in, and we only start producing for ourselves. And that would be a huge problem. Or it's going to be the next ultra liberal who says everything's free, the government's allowed to look at any documents they want, they're allowed into your home without a warrant, and that's going to be a huge problem. You can't let people who are bad become the president. And I'm afraid to say it, but both sides in this situation are guilty of that mistake. And it's scary. And I'm afraid it's going to be scary for my kids, and for your guys' kids, and for your grandkids. And really, I want to see someone better win the Republican nomination, because it's stuff like this that makes the world hate Republicans. And it's really sad. Well, anyways, guys, that's all I have to say about this today. In the comments below, leave other political figures, important people, famous people that you might want me to give a small explanation on why they're hated so much. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that you guys know people dislike but don't really know why. And I try to stay, in the biz when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm going to try to basically get the information you guys are looking for, or at least some minor bit of information, and just tell you guys, because it's never good to be in an argument when you are the losing side, and a side that has no knowledge of a subject is the losing side. So yeah, go ahead and rate the video, comment the video, and like the video if you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to make videos more often. I know I have been kind of slacking the last few days, but I'm going to see what I can do. Anyway, guys, it's been good. Keep your arguments straight, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.